girl shit. And if the beat live, you know Lil Juke made it. Body yaddy 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 yaddy. Body yaddy 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 yaddy. Body crazy, curvy, wavy, big titties, little waist. Body crazy, curvy, wavy, big titties, little waist. Body yaddy 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 yaddy. Look at how I bodied that, ate it up and gave it back. Yeah, you look good, but they still wanna know we're making it. Saucy like a barbecue, but you won't get your baby back.
What's up? What's up? I'm so excited to be back. Welcome back. Listen, we back in full action, okay? Welcome to another episode of the Pretty Plus Size and Powerful podcast. We are rated, and I gotta let y'all know, the number 7 podcast, the number 7 plus size podcast in the world, not the United States. Not the Midwest, none of that. In the world, they said. So shout out to Feed Spot for recognizing a player when they see one.
Listen, congrats.
Thank you. In case you don't know, listen, it's been so long. I don't even know what episode we on, okay? So when you see the number, just know that's where we at. I don't know. We might be on 72, 73, something like that, okay? Just bear with us. In case you don't know the voice, it is me, Aziza, a.k.a. Zebo, aka the Human Universe, aka your favorite fat girl, and my nigga back. I'm about to cry. Oh man, across the country. Go ahead and introduce yourself, child.
I think I forgot my name. Hey y'all, it's your girl Ruthia, aka the spoiled one, aka the real one, aka the curve queen on the runway, aka the unbothered one.
Period. And across the country again, we have a phenomenal guest, our friend, our bae, Fly Girl. Go ahead and introduce yourself, honey.
Hey everybody, it is the one and only Trinity Nicole, aka Fly Girl with Fire, and I'm super excited to be here because this is a long time coming. We had to get these schedules all together, but yeah, super dope. Good morning.
Good morning. Man, that's what happened when you try and book bosses on the podcast. They like, listen, I got shit to do. I got 411 things to do this morning.
Girl,
and I got another 900 to do tonight.
Listen, between these kids and virtual school and slinging nails and Fly Girl, and listen, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, we gonna work it out.
We are definitely glad to see your face. We're gonna go ahead and jump right in. We are starting out with a quote. It's been weeks. Have y'all even been motivated? Is y'all lives falling apart because y'all not hearing us get these quotes on a weekly basis? Right. It's okay. We back. Huh?
You ain't been doing a quote?
Girl, no. These shows been interviews and that's it. Okay? That's it. I ain't got time to be trying to think of a vibe and a fluffy shit and to keep it. No, that's too much work for me by myself. But anywho, our quote for this week is something that I really kind of just been speaking to myself. And it says that you deserve the life that you desire. So create it.
Yep.
I'm gonna say that again because I know somebody didn't catch it. You deserve the life that you desire. So create it.
Absolutely. That's kind of like along the lines of my new kind of tagline. Fly. So I kind of turned fly into an acronym for fearlessly love yourself. And like what I'm preaching, my new thing is we need to fearlessly love ourselves into the life that we deserve.
Come on.
So listen, we on the same page.
Yes. Come on. All right. We're going to keep it moving. Ruthie, you got to go first. What is your vibe this week?
Why I got to go first?
Because I ain't heard you talk in a long time. I'm still emotional.
I can't help it. My vibe this week is I am just super grateful. These last couple of weeks have been full with trials, and I'm just grateful that God kept me through it and that I'm here on the other side of feeling better. I was out because I had got COVID, and intermeeting with COVID, I ended up getting pneumonia. I had some other family stuff going on. I had an uncle that passed away. One of my son's friends at school was shot by a stray bullet. So it's just been so much going on. So right now, I'm just grateful that we are finally out of quarantine. I'm able to hug and love on my son again. So I'm just grateful to be back to being me.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a lot. That is a lot. And I mean, all I could do was just text. She like, listen, I can't answer the phone because I can't breathe. I can't talk to you. I'm like, but I just need to make sure you were. Listen, did I tell you I called your mama?
No.
I said, Miss Amy, is Ruthia okay? Because I had not heard from her. She was like, yes, he texted me back. I said, okay, well, just let her know that I was checking on her. I had to be listen. Every little little episode pop up that I did, I was like, y'all pray for Ruthia. Seeing her some good vibes. So thank y'all for that.
Definitely.
Scaring me like that. I ain't got time.
I'm glad you feeling better. I had COVID at one point too. So yes. I think I had a mild version though. So I ain't gonna front it. I wasn't like super sick, but yeah, I've been there. So I'm glad that you're feeling better.
Thank you. I appreciate all of the phone calls, text messages. I got care packages left at my front door. I got a lot of prayer. So I'm super, super grateful for everybody. But yeah, my case was not mild at all. I had every single symptom other than losing my taste and my smell. So, and then on top of that, I ended up getting pneumonia. So it was a lot.
Yeah, because what is a fat girl without her taste? Like, we would.
I couldn't eat either way, so it really didn't matter.
Okay, all right. So my vibe this week, and I just randomly made this up. My vibe this week are clear blue skies. Not because it's clear blue skies down here, but just because that's like how I'm feeling right now. It's been tough. I've been down here in Georgia for like 6-7 weeks now. And I just feel like I'm just now breaking out of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to call it depression, but just a crazy down adjustment period. And just now, like, you know, being able to go forward and, you know, start to getting out of my own way, getting out of my own head. So from here, it's sunshine and blue skies. That's all.
You can come back to the cold though. It's okay.
I might be back before the end of the month, or maybe the beginning of next month. So we'll see. Trina, what's your vibe? It could be anything that describes, you know, the mood you're in, the week you just had.
I'm gonna say yellow. Yellow, because I've done some yellow nails this week and we've had sunshine. The sun is shining right now. I got back into my yoga practice and I've been feeling so good. So I just feel like that uplifting, like it's light at the end of the tunnel type feeling. Like I'm slowly turning the corner, coming out of 2020. I mean, I know everybody was struggling, but I mean, you know, that it was rough, and I'm just starting to like feel like myself again. We talked about this when I remember when I saw you in the studio that before you left, like just that feeling of just like unmotivated, and that's not even like me. So I'm feeling kind of yellow vibes this week. Like, okay, girl, like we're gonna turn this corner and start feeling better. And got back into my yoga practice, and that's been very good for me. Just doing something for my self-care.
Yeah.
That I preach so much and sometimes neglect to do. So I say yellow.
Okay, I love it. 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 Man, listen, it's just been, like you said, 2020 for everybody, and it's trickling over to 2021 with a little bit more of those yellow spots.
Yeah,
but it is not. It's by no means a 180 where we like, okay, everything is, we can get back to normal and we can do this and that. It's like, no, we got to adjust to a new way of life and try to live and be happy and boss up and, fight mental, health issues and stay physically together. Like, it's a lot to have to go up against when we still living in unknown, we still living in unknown territory. I was just kind of, I hate the news. I rarely watch the news, but I had just saw something where Biden was saying that the fourth wave of corona is gonna come through. But we have some places that are like, okay, we're gonna, let down the COVID restrictions and stuff like that. But then they, on a national level, talking about another wave. Like, so I must just stay in the house again. Like, I'm definitely gonna keep wearing my mask. I'm gonna keep social distancing. Like, I'm gonna follow the guidelines. You said 12 feet away.
No, I've been wearing 2 masks since I've been feeling better and I've been out the house. I've been wearing 2 masks everywhere I go.
Listen, I don't blame you. I'll be spraying people down. Like, I'm gonna go back and get Stop playing. I'm gonna spray you with this disinfectant spray.
It's too much, and I don't think people really realize. I think it triggered for a lot of people that might not usually recognize or deal with mental health issues, that depression, anxiety. I think for some of us, it heightened it so much, and it's like you're trying to turn a corner and feel better, and then you get hit with, well, wait, not so fast, like, so it's unfortunate. This whole everything it's so unfortunate, and we trying our best to just, like you said, still live our lives and be bosses and adjust and maneuver, but it's been hard. That for me, like, even Fly Girl, like I love my community and just like people around me, because like people really be noticing when I'm not around. Like, dang, we ain't seen Fly Girl, like, where you been at? And I'm like, man, that got put on the back burner. I gotta deal with all this other stuff going on.
Yeah, and then we got that's some stuff that we just have to learn to understand about other people, like especially people who give on a regular basis, and whether it's philanthropic or whether you just giving your energy to people. Like, we come on here and we talking every week. We coming up with topics, and a lot of that is mental. And like the work that you do, and then especially being somebody who do nails and having to deal with people on a regular basis. And a nail tech ain't nothing but a therapist too.
Girl, what I'm trying to tell you. I love it though, because I love that people feel like they can just open up to me. And if I could give some advice or some words of encouragement, but sometimes it's hard to pour into. Sometimes I'm like, let me just do these nails, and can we not even talk? But I can't say that.
Right. Can you just?
I don't have no more advice to give, girl, because I can't tell you about your life because I'm trying to figure out my life.
Right.
But I love it though. I love that because it does feel like kind of like a therapy. I mean, on both ends, because I'm able to connect with my clients, and we chop it up and talk real life. But yeah, I don't think people realize that.
Listen, you get somebody to perform a service for you, you ready to tell them your whole life.
Girl, they sit down and tell me their whole life story. I'll be like, I'm talking about new client I ain't never met, and they always be like, I don't know, like, why I'm telling you all this. I'm like, that's what everybody say, girl. That's okay. Your secrets are safe with me. I ain't gonna.
I can imagine. It got to do something with the touch. It got to be something with the touch. Like you touch somebody's hand and it just be like, now they feel safe.
Yeah.
And so the words get that's like the lady Kim who do my bikini wax back there in Milwaukee. Listen, I just swore we was friends, and then I had to realize, like, ma'am, she ain't your friend. She provides a service. She is extremely nice, extremely professional, motivated, and eventually, you know what I'm saying, relationship develop. But it's like, you know, you see somebody looking into your intimate parts, and y'all know, it's like, we know each other, bro.
I think it'd be the energy. Certain people have certain type of energy that just, you know, you feel free to just kind of open up and, you know. But yeah, that's definitely it's a type of relationship. It's an intimate type of relationship. I'm like, girl, you done seen everything else, so let me tell you about everything else that's going
on. Right. All right. So tell us what's new. Oh my God. Like you said, this has been such a long time coming. Mm-hmm. What is new with Fly Girl?
So I feel like I kind of hit the restart button on Fly Girl, which is exciting because so when I released my book in 2018, and when I tell you, it just like stuff was just like, it just shot off, which is dope. And I wasn't prepared. I was like, you know, as soon as I released it, the next like month, I was down in Atlanta, I was in New Orleans, Chicago, traveling. I'm like, whoa, like I wasn't even ready for all these events. And then, you know, 2020 happened and it put a halt on everything, you know, my speaking engagements and vending and traveling and all of that. So I had to sit. And what's crazy is at the beginning of all that, and you could probably go back a year onto my Facebook, and I remember making a post, a video, and I was saying, creators, this is our time. Like I just knew, I was like, I'm about to use this time to write. I could be cranking out books and I'm about to do this. I ain't do none of that. I didn't do none of that because I didn't realize, you know, how it all was going to affect my mental. Like when you get quarantined in the house with 3 kids, then you tell me I gotta work from home and help them with school every day, and like I was just like I don't. At the end of the day, I'm like I don't feel like can I cuss on here? I don't give about none of this shit. Like that's you know kind of the point. So, but in the meantime, I'm always still thinking and you know planning, and I'm like, dang, like. Fly Girl, I feel like, you know, I'm very proud of the message and the platform and like what I was building. I'm like, I'm not going to just let it go. Like, I got to find a way to, you know, maneuver through all this. So, in part of my like therapy and self-care, journaling is a big thing for me. So I'm out looking for different type of journals and I really wasn't finding what I was looking for. I'm like, okay, so it's like a bunch of blank pages or it's the same page copied over and over. I'm like, this ain't really helping me. Or, you know, just, I mean, it's okay to sit down with your thoughts and just write, but sometimes you need like a prompt or you need, you know, just something more. So over the last year, I was working on the Fly Journal. So again, Fly now standing for Fearlessly Love Yourself. And, you know, it's time for us to fearlessly love ourselves into the life that we deserve. So that is the newest thing with Fly Girl. I'm super proud of it. Yes, I worked really hard on this. So the difference with this journal is, first of all, it's not just the same page copied over and over and over. Like I really took the time to kind of curate 30 days of how I describe it is to say, to do, to write. So to say is going to be our daily affirmation. To do is going to be some type of small self-care activity. And to write is going to be a journal prompt. All hoping to help us engage in better self-care, better self-love. And then also, so we have one page of that and then a page to kind of just take stock of our day and some accountability for the day. So you could kind of see it and come this way. So it's like, you know, tracking what we ate, what we drank, did we get any exercise that day, any meditation, how we slept, a daily reflection. And then there are just some blank pages just for your thoughts for the day. So that's what I've been working on and dropped it on Valentine's Day. And I've been getting great feedback. People like, I really needed this. And, you know, something just to help me, push me in that direction of kind of recognizing some self-awareness, some self-accountability. So yeah, so I'm super proud of it, and that's what I've been working on.
I'm excited for that because that's something that I could use and I need. And I went on a journey of trying to find a journal, and everywhere I went, it was just like, this ain't it. This ain't it. So that is super, super dope.
That's what I saw. I found like something, like there was a need. Like, okay, how can we? So, like for example, like some of the prompts. What do you need to start saying yes to? What's something negative in your life that you need to get rid of? What things are you grateful for in your life? So it's really just, like taking the time to sit and think, and what does our self-talk sound like? How are we talking to ourselves? How are we thinking about ourselves? So yeah, that's the feedback I've been getting. People like, I needed this. People buying like, oh, I'm gonna get one for me and for my daughter, for my mom. Like, it's been really dope. So that's definitely helping to like lift my spirits and just, always feeling like I'm here to help other people in some way. So yeah, I worked really hard. So like my 2020, this is what I was working on. So it wasn't totally unproductive. I wanted to do more, but I'm like, you know what? I accomplished this goal and this task, and it's, it's out in the world now. So
yes. I love that. I love, like you said, it was something that was missing, and I'm not a big journaler, right? I'm not a big journaler, and I probably should be, but I know that Ruth is, and even when I was like looking for a journal for her to write through, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a planner person, right? Mine is more so like I'm organized, so I even love the pages in there that you have. Like, this is what I ate. These are my goals for today. So even for somebody like me, who I'm more of a planner, that still works for me. And then it's encouraging me to go more into journaling and really like sort out my thoughts and things like that, which will probably help, a ton. But like you said, it's like certain stuff, and mostly like the best content that you'll probably get in a journal is something spiritual. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not that type of, or something religious, really, if you're not that type of person, then like you said, it's not something that's there. And then also, being women of color, like what are those journals encouraging you to write? Are they even speaking to our experiences and stuff like that? So I'm definitely excited. I gotta give me one.
Yes, for sure. And then too, I have like just different encouraging, motivated like quotes through there too. So like this one, this is my favorite quote. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So it's just reminding you like, sis. So I definitely got those encouraging words, our affirmations. I'm enough. There's no proof required. Just stuff. It's really talking to us. And how I wrote it is I wanted it to like, especially for us, for my sisters, like I'm talking to you. So when you read it, so like, sis, healthy skin is in. I talk to you, queen, stay hydrated. Sis, like, girl, like, it's in my voice for my sisters. Like, anybody can use it, but in my mind, it's like, it's wrote for us. I wrote it for us.
It makes it relatable. Yeah,
it's definitely very relatable. And like I said, so when I was creating it, it was something like I wanted for myself. I'm like, well, what do I want to use? And I kind of was like doing it as I was writing it. But the dope thing about it is now I could take a blank one and kind of start over. And like I said, because it's 30 days of different affirmations, activities, prompts, because even if I wrote something in the first one, now I could go back and reflect and rethink on it. So that's what's dope too. Like you could always start. It's no order you got to do it in. It's just 30 days of, you could just pop it up and like, oh yeah, pamper myself with a massage. That's what I'm going to do today, so. Yeah, I'm super proud of it. Y'all gonna love it. I'm gonna make sure I get y'all copies.
Yay! I'm excited. I'm gonna use that mug too. I'm gonna use it.
I call it like a journal workbook.
So, fearlessly loving yourself. What does that look like in practice? Because I always like to, try to reach people where they are. So for somebody who is just now stepping into a journey of self-love or self-discovery, or maybe not even taking that first step, maybe they're still at a point where it's like, I ain't got time for that, or they don't even know like this is a thing that needs to be done. What does fearlessly loving yourself, what does that process look like, or what is one of those processes look like? I know it'll look different for everybody.
Yeah, self-love is gonna look different for everybody. how I think of self-love is the same care, compassion, concern that we so easily pour into everybody else. My friends, my family, everybody else. How are you showing up for yourself? How are you showing yourself that same care, compassion, and concern? So to me, your self-love journey just kind of starts there, and just kind of recognizing that, like, dang, am I always putting myself on the back burner? Am I really addressing my needs, wants, and desires in this life, what I want for myself? So fearlessly loving yourself is just, starting to do that, having boundaries, saying no when you need to say no. I mean, it could be anything. It's just, what is going to help me? What can I do so that I'm loving myself more every day? And fearlessly means doing it, not caring what everybody else thinks about it. Like, my self-love and self-care ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. So when I'm fearlessly doing it, I'm stepping out, I'm doing me. I'm not worried about what you think about it. I'm not worried about what the world says, how I'm supposed to be doing it. I'm just doing it for me. And I think once we like really learn that and do that fearlessly, then the next part, now we're going to love ourselves into the life that we deserve. Ooh. By doing that. So to me, it's a process. I can't get there. I always say too, with like being a mom, I can't be the best mom that I can be if I'm pouring everything into these kids. And don't get me wrong, because I mean, if I do anything for these boys, but I had to get to a point, I'm like, I'm not going to keep overextending myself, not even just for anybody, including my kids. And I know how that might sound, but I think so many moms, like, we leave everything on the table for these kids, and then it ain't nothing left for ourselves. And I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. My oldest son about to be 18 years old. So it's taking me about 18 years to realize, how like hard I was working, working 2 jobs and doing all, trying to provide for them. And then there's nothing left for myself. Mm-hmm. There's nothing left for myself. So yeah, when you fearlessly loving yourself, honey, you doing you not caring what nobody think about it. Nobody got to say it, because everybody gonna have something to say. Oh, who she thinks she doing this, and she did, okay, yeah, yep, that's what I'm doing. This is my life. I got one life to live. It's too short to not be happy. So also in, loving ourselves, we're figuring out what our happiness looks like. And we deserve that. We deserve that, particularly Black women. We deserve that. Everything else in this world is everything, the weight of the world. And I say this all the time, the weight of the world is always on our shoulders. I don't care what it is, everything going on outside of our home, everything in our home, at work, we on the front lines fighting for Black lives, it's Black women. So it's like, so sis, at what point are you gonna start fighting for yourself?
Yes.
So that's, it's a long-winded answer, but self-love encompasses so much to me. It's so much. It's how we talking to ourselves, how we seeing ourselves, how we taking care of ourselves, how we showing up for ourselves, addressing our mental, like for me right now, addressing my mental health, all of that. Mm-hmm. What we consuming, not even, and too, because we were talking about the news earlier, when we think about what we consume, when you hear that, it's automatically like maybe like food and drink and water, right? But also what we consume is what we're viewing, what we're watching, what we're engaging ourselves, the energy that's all. Like, what are we consuming every day? So like, I honestly don't watch the news either, because I'm like, why like, and even taking stock of like what's showing up on our timelines and our social media. Like, listen, I'm quick. If somebody be on that negative, I'm like, block, delete. I don't even know you like that. Get off of here. So then, we can, how those algorithms work, we're going to view more of like what we're already looking at. So I try to always like those motivational quotes and just positive stuff. So when I'm looking on there, that's what's coming up on my timeline, not all that negativity. And, so when we thinking about what we're consuming every day outside of just food and water and things like that. So yeah, all of that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then, like you said, because I just, I was looking at my timeline today, and I haven't really, like, I get on Facebook, of course, because we doing these lives and stuff like that. I might make a status or something trying to promote business, but I have not had it in me to kind of just scroll through and, see what's going on with other people. I just, and I have a bunch of positive people on my timeline. Like you said, I do like you. If it's negative, unfriend, and I'll unfriend you with the quickness. I'll unfriend you, and we be real friends in real life, and I be like, or do it. Like,
I don't need you on here.
I can't. You too negative all the time.
Yeah.
But like, even just looking at Facebook, it's like we all still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
We all confusing each other. It's mixed messages all over the place. So I'm really just not feeling it at all.
Same. But that's part of our self-care though. Like being able to disconnect and unplug. Like you got to do that sometimes. So I'm the same way, because honestly, I said if I didn't have like the businesses and stuff that I'm trying to run, I don't even be on here too much anymore. It's just sometimes it's just too much. And that's okay, and that's okay. That's part of your self-care.
Ruthie, I know you've been on Facebook for about 2 months now?
No, I actually deleted my Facebook December 5th. So I deleted my Facebook son's birthday. So I might go on there for Messenger, or I think I popped on the other day because I needed to connect with somebody. But other than that, no Facebook.
Yeah.
No Facebook. It wasn't even that it was negative. I needed to, like you said, disconnect and block some of the energy that was coming off there, because we are so quick to pick up our phones, and because we bored, because we rolled over, because we got 5 minutes to spare, we always on our phone. And Facebook is a button that we just normally push. It's like it's a part of our daily lives, and I needed to release that energy. I needed to release some of the people that was pouring into me that I didn't even know that they were pouring into me. So it was like, wait, where am I getting all this negative, you know what I'm saying, vibes from, when I'm thinking that I'm constantly giving myself good stuff? Facebook was, you know what I'm saying, unrecognizably pouring into me, and I didn't even realize it. So definitely had to disconnect.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel you on that. So while we're on the topic of social media, and I don't want to go on a social media rant, but this is a trend that I've been seeing that I actually I'm actually in love with, and you kind of alluded to it, speaking about Black women and deserving happiness, and also this Black women deserve luxury. Have y'all been hearing about that? And I know it's real big on Instagram too. So well, I know you've been sick, but I'm loving that, because it's like, we don't have to, like you said, we don't have to put ourselves on the back burners for everything else, and that's what we're used to. You know what I'm saying? We got to have a humble brag. You know what I mean? And it's like, for what? Because don't nobody else do that.
Right.
Nobody else does that. Like, live the life you desire. You deserve it.
Right.
Create it.
Yeah.
So have y'all seen it? What are y'all thoughts about that?
I love it. I love it, because it's just like, why not? Why don't we deserve that? Why is it bougie to want better for yourself and want the nice things in life? Like, we deserve that. So I love that. And then it was one girl posted, she made a video, and she was like, basically like, everybody got something to say, but have you seen my savings account? Are you providing? Are you paying for any of this? Like, so why are you worried about it?
Exactly.
I'm like, listen, sis, get off. Get off and do you. And I'm gonna always clap and praise for my sister. Like, yes, absolutely do that. We deserve that.
Yes.
And it's so funny, because I was talking to my oldest son. He's about to be 18, and we talk about money and investing and things that I didn't learn. So I'm learning kind of as I'm raising him, and as he learning stuff and teaching me and stuff. And I was telling him, I'm like, it's little stuff. I'm not like a materialistic really person. But I don't know if it's just because I felt like I didn't deserve those type of things. But now I'm like, listen, I'm about to put me some money aside. I do want me some these type of shoes and this type of purse, and it's okay.
Right.
And it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, why can't I get that for myself? So yeah, I love it. I'm for it.
I haven't really been on social media lately because I've been sick. But I will say that I owe all of my thank yous to you, Trina, because I think we met in like 2019, and it was all self-care queen and self-love and all this other stuff. And it was like, wait, as a woman, I deserve that. And, I didn't realize that I needed to hear those things. And since then, I have been on an amazing self-care and self-love journey. And it's just been like, thank you so much, because I don't know what type of person I would be today if I didn't meet you then and realize that I needed to basically pull back those layers and heal, and instead of deflecting everything that people was telling me, actually taking it in and taking inventory of who I am and just being like, you know what, maybe I do need to, open up this box and be able to heal from the things that's been hurting me. So,
oh my God, do you gonna make me cry? Don't make me cry, because that's why I do this. That's why Fly Girl all came from, so I don't even know if people, I didn't even talk about it, but Fly Girl with Fibro, it all started with me getting this fibromyalgia diagnosis. And so what fibro is it's like chronic pain, and they think it's like chronic nerve pain. But the thing about it is, like, they really can't pinpoint, like, you got this pain in your body. We did all this testing. It's not inflammatory. It's not arthritis. Like, why do I just have this pain in my body? So as I'm doing my research, they're like, well, we think it's onset or it's triggered by stress. We got a lot of that. Trauma. It could be genetics. It could be a combination. We don't know. And I do feel like sometimes fibro is like a blanket diagnosis. Like, girl, we don't know what's wrong with you. But you fit all the symptoms and all the signs. So as I'm, thinking about that, and I'm like, well, dang, I have been through a lot that, like, when you, over time, like, okay, I've been through this, and this. But when you put that all together on a time, I'm like, dang, I've been through a lot since I was 3 years old. Like, so I started journaling and I started writing, and that's how the book even came about. And then, so when I was thinking about, like, who am I with this? I'm not my diagnosis. I'm not this condition. It's not going to make up my whole life, but I'm still Trina at the end of the day. So, and who is Trina? I'm like, well, I'm fierce with fibro. I'm fabulous. I'm flawless with fibro. I'm like, I'm still Fly. So that's how it even, like, who am I with this? I'm still a Fly girl. I just happen to have fibro. So then when I was, like, creating all of this, which never was my intention even to do, I'm like, so what's my mission? I'm like, well, I just want to help to educate, encourage, empower others, show them, like, it's somebody that looks like you can relate, and we got similar stuff going on. I'm on this healing journey. Come with me. So for you to say, like, that's what it is invoked in you, like, that just, like, I'm like, if I can help one person in some way, like, that's everything to me. So thank you. Because I even remember one of your statuses, I remember you saying, thank you for saying, like, I think I said something about it's okay to, like, cry in the shower or something.
All the time. That's my favorite spot.
Yeah, you was like, girl, thank you for telling me it's okay to cry. And I just thought, I was like, that's everything. Like, yes, girl, do that cleansing crying in the shower. So thank you. That really, like, that just made my day.
You're welcome.
Y'all done brought me out here to cry this morning.
Just be like, who is hot,
girl? It's okay. I already been emotional. I just told y'all I'm trying to figure out my mental health.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. Y'all know I'm not. I went from never being a crier to being a crybaby, dealing with Ruthia, and now it just be like,
I'm trying to tell you, crying is so therapeutic. People want to hold all them feelings in and don't want to be vulnerable. And listen, a good cry, especially in the shower.
That's me. I probably need to get a good cry out, but right now it just ain't gonna happen. I just gotta create my clear sky.
Listen,
a cloud might pass by one day. I'll be outside. I wish it would sing the Temptations. I wish it would rain. So we have talked. I think we talked about the book before. I have the book.
Yes.
I have the book. Yep. Yeah.
I'll be ready. Girl, I was at I don't even where I was at some appointment, and I carry my little Fly Girl bag, and I just got like I just said, people just open up to me. So this woman, like, she just started talking to me, and she was just telling me her whole life story, and then she was telling me, like, she might want to write a book. Girl, I pulled my book out. I said, yeah, I wrote a book, and then she got it. Wait, so then she reached out to me. She was like, I went home and read your book. and it inspired me. Like, I want to write my book. I'm like, yes. So yes, this is where it all started.
Yeah, I love that. And it so because like I'm really feeling like, and this was my own personal journey as well. Like, I think it's so dope that people write books but I ain't really got no story to tell. My life really not that interesting and stuff like that. And then I had to realize, like, no, we all have a story to tell. Now, whether or not you want to share it or whenever you get pushed to share it is your choice.
Right.
But just having to realize, like, that's something that I just came to the conclusion of, like, within the last month. Like, we all have a story to share. And that's why we've been doing these just quick 30-minute pop-ups all through the month, through Women's History Month, because like that was one of those revelations. Like, we all have a story to tell, because something that you say at some point in time is gonna help somebody else. And it might be insignificant to you, but it might mean the world to somebody else. So I need Thea to write a book.
Listen, it's therapeutic though. It's so I've always been a writer. But to sit down and write out your life, and honestly, I didn't even include everything. I'm actually thinking about re-releasing it and adding some stuff because more stuff has happened. I mean, even talking about my experience in quarantine and just like my mental health, but then you know, when I talk about trauma, you know, witnessing like domestic violence in my household when I was younger. Up until 5 years ago, my father was murdered. But then last year, 5 years to the day that my dad got killed, my brother got killed. So it's like, it's heavy stuff that, you know, when you look at me, you would never probably imagine that. You know, the type of stuff that I've been through. But like you said, you never know who needs to hear that story. And a lot of women, when they read my book, like, I've literally had women, they be like, girl, you are me. I am you. And that's the crazy thing, is like we have such similar stories. But it's just like, how do we work through that though? Like, how do we come out on the other side of all that pain and trauma and just, and that's just, like I said, I just want to take people, I'm on this healing journey. It's not pretty, which I mean, last year showed us like it'll throw a whole wrench in everything you think you got going on. But it's like, we got to keep pushing. And that's why, like, the title is literally pushing through the pain, because for me, it's literal with this chronic pain, but it's also our emotional pain, our mental pain. Like, how are we going to push through that and come out on the other side? And so, yeah, definitely writing is therapeutic.
So I've been, and I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast yet. I've been seeing another, I don't want to call it a buzzword, but like another trending type of thing with shadow work. I don't know if I'm the most familiar with exactly what it is. Have you had any experience with shadow work?
Yep. So all shadow work is just, it's the darker, how I think of it. It's just dealing with the darker parts of yourself, the things that you don't want people to see and know, but the things that need to be dealt with. Again, to me, that pain, trauma, all that stuff that we like push down, but it's still a part of us. So it still needs to be recognized. It still needs to be worked on. So to me, that's kind of like what your shadow work is, just dealing with your darker shadow self. The other layer, it's all just like dealing with all the layers of yourself. So for me, I just feel like I'm addressing that as I'm in my therapy sessions and as I'm, you know, seeing my therapist and working through it. I just think it's just recognizing and healing all the parts of you. That's how I look at it. I don't even know if that's the right, but that's what I think when I think just like your darker self and exposing that person and healing that person so you can be your whole self, your whole healthy self.
You know what that remind me of, Ruthia? When Mama Clara came on and she had the book Reflections with My Reflection, and her whole thing was like, she left this person 40 years ago. She left her in the mirror, hadn't talked to her.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Hadn't looked at her, hadn't helped her to heal. She buried her down deep. You know what I'm saying? And just forgot about her. And then she had to really come to, you know what I'm saying, come to terms with like, no, this was a part of who you were.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This was a part of your journey. And really, you know what I'm saying, bringing it back today. So she spent all of this time, you know, reminiscing with this reflection and then bring her up to date. Like, hey, in that time, we done had kids. You know what I'm saying? We have grandkids now. Like, these are all of the things that happen. So I definitely love that. I think I think this is definitely a time where that is extremely needed. And then even like I was so I don't do nothing but talk, y'all. Literally, like I talk all day. I talk on P3. I talk on A Precious Life. I talk on Jewels of the Divine. Shameless plugs.
Yes,
But
I come always means, girl.
one of the things I talked about was unity and oneness. And when we think of unity, we always think about, you know what I'm saying, coming together with other people and, you know what I'm saying, being unified with Black people and, you know, eliminating racism so that we can be a unified country and a unified world and stuff like that. But I think with the, you know, with the trend, I hate to call it a trend, but that's the word that I'm thinking of, with the trend of shadow work, like really becoming one with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Taking that person that you don't want nobody to know and really accepting who she is in within who you are. Like, it's not, she doesn't define you. You know what I'm saying? What happened to her doesn't define you, and her may be different today than her was yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I say that all the time. I'm like, I'm not the woman I was 24 hours ago.
Period.
You can't hold me to the woman that I was a year ago or 5 years, because I'm constantly learning, growing, evolving, transforming. But sometimes we have to check the woman, what she did a year ago. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You got to check her too. Like, okay, why did I do that? You know, what was going through. So it's so easy for us to just like, okay, I wasn't her, I made a mistake, but like, you got to work through why maybe you doing things, or, you know, so you still got to check yourself, you know, and even check her. Cause like, you know, I've had situations, you know, just trying to figure out why I respond the way that I do in some situations. Like, you know, it's all about that self-awareness and just like checking yourself. And, you know, I can sit here and be like, yeah, I've grown and evolved, but if I'm not really doing my work, like, have you really, like, so we all got to do our work. And I don't know if you have men viewers, but I just want to say men need to also do their work, because we don't talk about that enough. But men need to learn how to do their work as well, so we can all just do better.
Definitely. I think so many people are afraid to do the self-care and do the work because they're afraid of what other people are going to think, or they don't want to feel selfish. For me, it was like,
self-care isn't selfish.
If I'm healing and people say, oh, well, you acting different, I'm healing different at this point. And so many people were like, well, don't talk about that part, because it's, you know what I'm saying, in the Black community, we have this wagon that we want to cover up. And it's like, well, if you talk about what happened to you, then that exposes this person, or that exposes our family and everything like that. And it's kind of like, well, what am I supposed to do in the meantime?
Right.
And so many people don't want to heal because they're so familiar with their trauma.
Right.
It's something that's comfortable, but uncomfortable at the same time. And it's like, how am I supposed to be comfortable with this new person if I've never met her? But we have to re-meet ourselves every single day.
Absolutely. Beautifully said. Yes, I agree.
But
that circles back to what I literally just said when we was talking about self-care. Like, doing things, it don't matter what nobody else say or feel or think about it. You know what I'm saying? Actually, me and my mom had this conversation about family, because, you know, we so quick to be like, family. You can't do that to family. You can't block out family. Like, that's still your brother. That's still your sister. Listen, I'm at the point, 36-year-old Trina, if you disturbing my peace, you got to go. I don't care who you are. And everybody don't like that, and everybody don't understand that. You know, but it is what it is. I'm like, if you disturbing my peace, you have to go. I don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's all goes back to now you have to face, like, not worry about what it looks like to everybody else. What your self-care looks like to everybody else, that's don't worry about it. That's their issue. That's not your issue. So if you lose people in the meantime and you're healing, then they're not meant to be in your life.
For sure.
And I'm just starting to get there. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm just starting to, like, probably in the last year or two, really just like, nah, like, I got family, you toxic. I can't, and I know that word is thrown around so much, but I can't, I can't allow myself to, I got to have those boundaries. And I'm the only one that can protect my peace at the end of the day.
Yeah. So
I'm at the point, I'm like, if it ain't about me and these three, I ain't really got nothing for you. People just gonna have to be mad. It is what it is.
Y'all done said some stuff. Okay, I gotta go back, because if I don't write it down, I'm gonna lose it. So back to what you were saying, and I'm gonna bring it all the way back to this point. But yes, any man who may come across this video, any woman who got a man, or who got a son, or who got a daddy, or who got an uncle or a brother, get them to work on themselves. Get them to self-reflect. You know what I'm saying? And we got to go beyond just letting men off the hook by saying, well, would you want your daughter to date a man like you?
Right.
Because I think we are so critical of ourselves as women, and we challenge ourselves to go further. You know what I'm saying? To go further into our healing, and you know what I'm saying? To go further into reflection, just by telling a dude, like, would you want your daughter to date the man that you are, is not enough.
Right.
Are you satisfied with, like, if you die today, would you really, like, no, men, I think men need to be challenged even more. Yeah. What is the legacy you gonna leave behind?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are people gonna say about you when you really gone? Not that you have to care about what people say about you, but what do you want them to say about you when you gone? What do you want it to say in your obituary? Right. Do you want them to have to talk about you being baptized when you were 6 years old because that's what your grandmama did to the whole family, but you ain't been to church since? Right. And even that, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you want them to have to make up these highlights in your life because you really wasn't shit?
Right.
Or do you want them to be able to write something real in your obituary?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But anywho, and everything you said something that made me think of getting used to the pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might if I step on a rusty nail and I don't do nothing with it, I just keep on walking. Yeah, it still hurt. But now that rusty nail through my foot, I'm used to it. So I'm just walking around. I gotta put my shoes on with the nail in my foot. I bathe with the nail in my foot. Like, no, this shit is uncomfortable and it's not supposed to be there. So address it. Do the work you need to do to take it out. If you got to go to a doctor, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's stuff that we need to do. And then listen, I was just talking about this too. If you lose somebody in your healing process, let them stay gone.
Yeah.
Family included.
Family included.
And I want us to be like, and I want to throw a word of caution out there as well, because while yes, if they are toxic to your peace, if they are disturbing to your peace, absolutely remove them. But don't remove your accountability by just saying, oh, that was them, and now that they gone, I'm good. Like, and what I really was thinking about when I was saying that was how a lot of us are confronting our issues with our parents. And of course, in extenuating circumstances, if you had an abusive parent, you know what I'm saying, if you had a parent that abandoned you due to drug, you know what I'm saying, issues and stuff like that, of course, yes. But just because you didn't get the things that you got, or you don't feel like you had the experiences that other people had, like, I get it. Yeah, you need to heal from certain things or mistakes that your parent made that really didn't have nothing to do with you, but you were witness to. I get, I absolutely get it. Heal with them,
Right.
But I don't think we need to throw like, because I was, and me, I'm always talking about me. I was willing to throw away my daddy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he did this and this. He ain't do this and this. Like, I don't even need him for what, blah, blah, blah. And I was realizing, like, that shit was hurting me more than anything.
Yeah.
He still had to go on and live his life. And then having to realize, like, he went through certain things
right.
that created him to be the person that he was. And so he could only be so much to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't keep blaming my shortcomings on him. At a certain point in time, it's just like, you know what? I accept you for who you were. Yeah. You tried your best. If you tried your best, and I'm going to be a better version of myself because that's what I need.
Right.
Not because that's what you know what I'm saying, desire for me to be, or you required of me. I'm going to be a better version of myself because that's what I need. And I understand that you're not perfect because I understand that I'm not perfect.
Right. Yeah, I think I agree. It was so much stuff that before my dad passed, I wish I would have said. But sometimes, like you said, realizing, because now after his passing, I'm getting closer to that side of the family, my grandma in particular, and she's really been able to shed a lot of light on, wow, I'm starting to see why he was the way that he was, and it really doesn't even have nothing to do with me. So, you know, being able to understand and meet him where he was at, and you know, you hope that they do better, and then realizing, like, our parents, they was learning kind of too. Like I was just saying with my son, with my kids, I know I make mistakes, and me and my son just had this conversation. I said, you know, I know I was a teenage mom. I had him when I was 18 years old. I'm like, I know I made mistakes. I wasn't the perfect mom, but as long as, you know, I did the best that I could do with the tools that I had and what I know, you know what I mean? And just being honest with him, and, like, you know, and hoping that he understands, and putting it to him, like, you know, just for him to understand that. And now me at 36 trying to understand that's where, and do that for my parents. Like, they was young, they had me when they was 16. Like, they don't know what they didn't know. So, and being able to kind of let that go, like, okay, you know, but that's part of our healing work. Being able to recognize that, and, like, okay, you're not holding those grudges and that resentment and any type of, you know, but it's a process and it takes time. But I did real quick want to just say too about I am creating a journal for men. So that will be out, I'm hoping by June, like around Father's Day. And just doing my research on that, and just really trying to figure out how to engage them in something like that. Because I think it's important, because, you know, them not doing their healing work and me recognizing this 36-year-old dating. And that's a whole nother show. I'm sure we can talk. But that's when I'm like, have you addressed your childhood trauma? And have you done your healing work? Because if I'm sitting here doing all this healing work, I'm not going to let you come and project your shit onto me.
Come on.
So we got to, you know what I'm saying? We got to meet in the middle. So, like, how have you done your healing work? The things that you have been through. So, yes, I just want to say, like, I'm working on it. I'm working on that for them. It's just, you know, figuring out how to get them engaged in self-care and all of that, and what makes sense for something like that. So I'm working on it.
That, you gotta make that some hood shit. Like, yo, nigga, listen, down somewhere and take a motherfucking breath.
I'm learning they like when we handle them a little rough though.
Right.
Like the nice girl thing, don't even. I'm like, y'all like what I mean? Okay.
You gotta put the clap emojis in there. Cry a little bit.
It's time to heal. It's time to heal, sir.
Okay. Oh, any last things you want to address? Ruthia, do you got any other questions? Okay. Any last things you want to address before we start to close out?
No, I just want everybody to, heal, do their healing work. If you haven't started, it's never too late. get started on your journey. And I hope that anything that I say or content or anything, I'm able to help you to do that in some way. I'm not by any means any type of like licensed therapist or nothing like that. I'm just somebody that's going through life, been through a lot, sharing my story. And I hope that by me sharing my story, it's able to help others. And the Fly Journal is out, so definitely make sure that you get that. And as always, you can always find me at Fly Girl with Fibro. Check me out on flygirlwithfibro.com, and I hope to connect. And this has been awesome, so thank you for having me.
Thank you. Like she said, Fly Girl with Fibro. Go get the journal. I need to get mine. If you don't have the book, make sure you get the book too. Do you want them to follow you on any social media or anything like that? Do you have an Instagram where they can follow you?
Everything is at Fly Girl with Fibro. So literally everything you're gonna find. Facebook, Instagram, my website. It's all Fly Girl with Fibro.
Perfect. And while you looking up her, look us up too. Find us on all of the things. Check out our website at www.prettypluspower.com. Follow our Facebook page, Pretty Plus Size and Powerful. Follow our Instagram at Pretty Plus Power. Join our Facebook group at Pretty Plus Size Powerful with group at the end. Make sure y'all get all of y'all P3 merch and whatnot or whatever. You can follow me at Zebo_P3 on everything. Okay.
One more thing, real quick. If you're in the Milwaukee area this weekend on Sunday from 2 to 6 at Freight 38, I am in the Entrepreneur Her. I don't know how to say it right. It's a vending event. All women, Black-owned and women-owned businesses coming together. So come and shop, and I will have journals, books, Fly Girl merch on hand this Sunday, the 21st, from 2 to 6.
Yes.
So come through.
Follow my Instagram, y'all. I just signed up to be on an unscripted TV show.
Ooh,
I just applied. Yeah. I need to be on that. So I need y'all to follow my Instagram because I'm pretty sure they're gonna try and see if I got followers and stuff like that. And I need y'all to pray for me because I need this break. So I can take P3, so we can take P3 to the next level. We can be number one podcast.
Listen, it's yours. Claim it. Speak as if it's already yours. That's your show. You on that show, girl. What?
Period. We on TV, Ruthia. What up? Then you can really say fuck that job like I've been trying to get you to say for the Lord.
Listen. Me and we had this. So I ran into these coming out the studio one day. We had that conversation too. We always have random, like we see each other have little random, but very needed conversations.
Yep.
Letting go of job, anything that's where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes. Ruthie, you want them to follow you on your socials?
Right now I just have IG and it is _P3.
Period. All right. So it's been a long time, but here's a little segment we like to call Don't Let This Fluffy Inch Fool You. And I'll go first, okay? Because mine is mild, but it's really, I don't know what happened. So last night, I could not sleep because like my legs were just active. Like the nerves in my legs were too freaking active. Like, and I immediately thought to like some commercials that I had seen before about restless leg syndrome. And I'm like, listen, I don't have no time because I value my sleep too much to be having restless leg syndrome. But I swear that's what it was. And it was like only characterized by the constant urge to move your legs, the unbearable urge to move your legs. And literally I was up till 2:30 in the morning because I could not, like my body, my upper body from my waist up was sleepy, but my legs was like, bitch, it's time to party. Like, what you mean? Go to the club. We out here.
Mega knees.
I'm like walking up and down the stairs, y'all. I'm like doing calf raises. I'm doing squats. Mind you, I ain't worked out, so I'm tired as hell. I'm like standing up, trying to march in place, but like I said, I was sleepy. So I'm like just head leaning all to the side. I said, I'm about to fall out because I'm tired, but my legs will not go to sleep. I don't know what the hell it was. I don't need it no more. If it happens again, I don't know what to do. They was like, take a bath, take a warm bath, or put a cold compress on it. Like, dude, I'm gonna have to run a marathon in the middle of the night just so I can go to sleep. I don't have my lungs ain't ready. So I'm just I can't do it. I can't. It just so to restless leg syndrome, whether it's diagnosed or whether this was just a temporary lapse in my body, don't let this fluffy shit fool you. Leave me alone.
So real quick though, you gotta think, even with fibro, I always say, like, what I think fibro is our mental, emotional things that we not dealing with. It's got to come out somehow, and I feel like it finds a way to physically manifest itself into pain. So you might have to check, things you're going through, your move, like how is that, or somehow is it connected and now it's manifesting into this ailment in your legs. I have to just do some work around that and just addressing that, and that's a big move that you made.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you was talking about at the beginning. So I always, like, when stuff like that happen, I'm like, how is stress and mental and emotional, like, things that we going through, is that somehow manifesting itself into these physical ailments? So I wonder.
Well, let me go on and order this journal so I can start getting to it, so I can sleep at night. Look, by the time we done, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna need my journal mailed down here. I'm gonna be in a place to order on the website before we get finished.
Listen, just shoot me a message. I can send you one.
Okay. What about you, Ruthie? You got a fluffy-ish?
Oh, yes, I have two actually, and neither one of them are personal, but I'm like you guys, I don't really watch the news, but of course, Instagram, social media finds its way to have those news feeds. And I seen two things that was really, really just horrible. The one guy, I can't remember where he was at, but he attacked the mother of his child, and he killed 4 other people. He killed her mother, her brother, her cousin, and her oldest daughter, which was not his child, all over a stimulus check.
Oh my goodness.
And it's like, you are already an unfit parent, and you're thinking that you deserve some of this money, so you decide to attack me and kill my other daughter, which I think her daughter was like 7, her brother, her cousin, and her mom. So now that's something that they all have to kindly, live with. Like, I don't need no $1,400 if it's going to cost me my family and, the life of those around me. But so along with that, I seen another news feed where it was a guy, and I believe this one was in Houston. He was being chased by the police for whatever reason. I think his tire went flat or something. He hit something, and he jumped out of his car, ran to a gas station, and just happened to jump in a car of a lady who was pumping her gas. And when she seen him jump in, she jumped in because she had a 1-year-old baby in the back seat. So he had a gun and was telling her to get out, and she refused. Obviously, as a mother, I'm not leaving my child. Right. So when the police finally run up on her vehicle, they see him with a gun. They tell him to put it down. He tell them no. They shoot him and kill him. But in the process, obviously there's bullets flying. The baby in the back seat was shot as well. The baby is still alive, but the baby is currently in ICU fighting for his life. A 1-year-old child that still has bullet fragments in his brain. So it's just like, where are we at? Like you said, mentally, where are we at that we feel like we need to do these things to where we are taking other people's lives, whether it has to do with money or whatever the case may be. And now you have a 1-year-old child who is in ICU. So being a mother and just dealing with everything that's going on is very, very heartbreaking. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, one of my son's friends, 12 years old, shot by a stray bullet. And luckily he didn't lose his life, but it's just like, where are we at mentally in the world that these things are constantly happening?
Right.
So the state of the world is what my fluffy ish is pretty much going through.
It's too much.
It's that's crazy because I mean, even that made me think of just stuff that's happening down here in Georgia. The guy who went into the 2, Asian massage parlors and killed 8 people. And then even something locally, and it's probably not gonna get national attention, but this lady was doing Uber late at night, about 2 a.m. She was doing Uber Eats. And she had to take her 1-year-old with her. So her 1-year-old is strapped up in the back seat. So she get out the car because she in a nice neighborhood or whatever, and a 14-year-old boy jumps in her car and steal her car with her baby in the back. They found the car about, 2 miles away, but the baby was gone. And luckily, they trying to say, they think it might have been 2 different people. So the 14-year-old boy and somebody else, but he not saying anything, but he took the baby and just set the baby on somebody's doorstep. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
what is wrong with people?
it's just heartbreaking. It's too much. It's too much. Like you said, the state of the world right now is just, on top of the stuff we can't control, the things that we can control is like, why would you choose that type of violence? Like, that shit is crazy.
Right. It's too much.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you want to address? Anything that you just like, get up off me, don't let this fluffy ish fool you?
Not that I could think. Depression. Get this depression up off me. Because it all goes in line with just our mental health and like just us all, addressing our mental health, I think is so important. And I'm just ready to get into a better state of mind, and I'm working on it actively. And that's, I'm trying not to live in that space and let all this stuff around me consume me and make me sad. But it's hard with, like I said, with the state of the world right now. It's weighing. So I'm trying to get that up off me.
Yes.
That heaviness and so stuff like this definitely lifts my spirit. So thank you so much, y'all, for having me, because it made my day.
All right, so y'all know what it is. We do not leave y'all on a down note. It is time to turn it around with a segment we like to call Keeping It Cute. Radhia, go ahead.
So this week's Keeping It Cute goes to 12-year-old Alina Wilker, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. It says 12-year-old graduates high school with sights set on NASA.
Yeah.
12-year-old Alina Wilker is a true child prodigy. The Arizona native has already completed high school through at-home schooling. First of all, I can't even get son to focus for a whole class. For a whole class. So for her to be 12 years old and already graduate high school from at-home schooling, she is set to attend Arizona State University.
Yes.
Afterwards, she plans to become some type of scientist or engineer for NASA.
That's dope.
At 12.
Want to be the youngest person ever. Come on.
That's that black girl magic.
Yes. Come on, 12? She's supposed to be in the 7th or 8th grade.
Listen, and one of her quotes was, she said, "I had a goal that I wanted to reach, so I set it and I made it. I've always dreamed of being an engineer because throughout my life, I like building things."
Listen.
Come on.
Something. That black girl magic.
Like, I got a goal and I set it and I'm going to reach it.
And I did it. Listen. That's what's up.
Come on.
Shout out to Lena Wilker for being our Keeping It Cute this week.
Real quick, I've had so much fun. I do have to go, but
Okay.
thank you so much for having me. I love y'all.
Love you too.
We'll talk soon.
For sure.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. We have come to the end of the show. Y'all know what time it is. Go to the mirror. Say exactly what it is that you need to say to yourself to get you through this upcoming week. It is time for the I am statement. And this week, I am Superwoman.
Taking notes from the show, I am Fly, fearlessly loving myself.
Here he is. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Pretty Plus Size and Powerful Podcast. I'm gonna see if I can get Ruthie on these pop-ups, but y'all know she sleep during the day because she work at night. But we got some dope pop-ups coming up, y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned in to those. Whenever you see any of these videos, make sure you share them. Tag your friends in the comments. Any comments and questions, leave them down below. We'll get to them if we can during the show. Thank y'all for rocking with us. You know, Tone doing a whole town hall. So even if people leave in comments, because they ain't gonna be popping up.
Okay.
Thank y'all for tuning into the show. Thank y'all for continuously rocking with us. The number 7 plus size podcast in the world. What up? Because we thought somebody who ain't rated said something. Wait, before we go, I've been so corny, and I just been cracking up because I was like, dude, y'all, Ruthia will be on my ass about how corny I've been, and I was like, I don't care, I'm gonna do it a lot because she not here, so y'all gonna get all of this corniness, all my little jokes, all of my little crazy intros.
I apologize. Speak to y'all for her. That's not fair. That's not fair.
All right, we getting up out of here. I'm glad to have you back, child. Tell Teenager I said hey.
Teenager still asleep. He didn't go to bed until like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Oh, he had restless legs too?
No, he was playing a video game at 3:30 this morning. I was like, oh, now I'm woke, so help me start my hair. So yeah. He helped.
Oh, Tyler gonna be a perfect boyfriend when he turned 37, because that's gonna be the only time he can have a girlfriend. He gonna know how to cook, clean, do hair, all that. Lay a wig.
Self-sufficient. My baby is gonna be self-sufficient.
Okay. All right, y'all. We got to go. My mama busting in. Bye.